Patreon member shout out. Your fate is sealed when your prophecy is read. He told me that the man of my dreams would be promised and someday be mine. He told me that my power would grow like the grapes that thrive on the vine. OJ Mariano's on his way. He told me that the man. Hey guys, how's it going? It is I with Mr. aka Henry Paiguca. How's it going, brother?
Randy, what's going on, bud?
Doing okay. What about yourself?
Busy, man. Just going, doing my thing. How you been? I haven't seen you. I don't know. We hit up, but I haven't really face to face in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a couple months. I think the last one we had was like a 4-hour stream, which was great, which is amazing. Let's do it again tonight. But we also had I think what happened in between there, because that was a couple months ago. You've gone to Vegas. I've gone to Atlantic City. I think we've both gone to Atlantic City.
We've been missing each other in the air flights. I know the first time it was in November, you were going to Decon. I was coming home. We were in the air at the same time. Now this time,
yes,
I'm in Vegas. You're in Decon, which arguably we were only a few hours away. I mean, I was in a tournament though. Unfortunately, I couldn't come, but that it would have been nice to be there because I know meeting David and Dan and everybody, that would have been pretty cool. Amongst obviously a lot of the OMI homies, but yeah. But now I'm back.
Heck yeah! So there's a couple of things I want. One thing I wanted to go over is I posted a picture before. It was me in the Air Force, and we did the Jack I'm Flying pose. Now people are wanting me and Taps to recreate that when we're at San Diego next month or later this month. Are you going to San Diego or New York? What's the next con that you're going to? The next Mr. Pag's public appearance.
That's a great question. I actually will be. I won't be attending that. I will be in NYC Comic Con, but I definitely going to be there. I already have the tickets. It's going to be a Friday and Saturday, Friday and Saturday for me on that. I won't be in San Diego, and however, that's going to be pretty fun. You guys are going to have a great time out there, I'm sure. Yeah. But that's going to be fun with you. And if you can, I mean, I don't want to say it's a little, I don't, it's not, it's right up your and Tap's alley. So that it's going to be interesting. You know what I mean? To see that come together. How are you going to do it with no shirt and everything like that? Is that going to happen?
No, I'm not in shape for that right now. Taps probably is a lot. He's a lot closer to being in really good shape. I am not at all. Like I was just talking, Kyla May, she's K Collectibles. I was just talking with her on her. She's going to upload a video. Recently we were talking about cosplaying and stuff, and I'm not in shape at all. I'm not in shape at all for it right now. At some point though, maybe next year when I get back into the gym.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, what's up, Nikki Bretts?
So you had I guess someone tagged you in a post that you had gone on that saying that they had I think it was Fantastic Four or it was Amazing Spider-Man that you had bought, and it was because it was like the higher mint because it wasn't the floor.
Yeah, I think I was. I don't know if I was still in Vegas. I know what happened. I actually went to so as you know, the story with the low mint, my friend Brent in New Zealand, his lowest 282. I tried to acquire that obviously almost 10 months ago or whatever, and the deal didn't go through. Actually going on a year almost. And so long story short, I had acquired the other variants with very close to the top end of the highest of those particular mint numbers. So not this mint number that I have, but one that was actually a little bit lower, not as high as this. It was a little lower, a couple digits lower. I had seen going back, and it dawned on me. I'm like, maybe I should just go for the high mint. But they want it at the time they wanted 16 or 18K, and this is going back when things were a little on the higher end. But I thought that was the highest number. So this popped up, and I was like 7K. It was like, if not floor, almost floor, and it is the highest secret rare.
Yeah,
arguably. and I had to grab it. You know, he hit me up. He's like, you know, I appreciate it, but dude, like there's lower mint numbers, and I'm like, I know I'm the low mint master and all that. I know, but this was a high end item that I needed, and I don't waste time. You know, there's certain things that we want, like my MC1, the SR, my second one that I've had, a 762 and not the 1727. Listen, if the price is right, I'm a seller.
Yeah,
you know, we all have entry points when we come into something with the anticipation of having an exit, and everybody has a different, you know, threshold of where those particular numbers are. I mean, if only went to 10 cents right now, you're telling me you wouldn't sell any? I mean, let's get real. If it went to 5 cents, you wouldn't sell any. I'm just making a point. My point is we all have our numbers. Yeah. And if those numbers are met, no, time isn't an issue. It's not a parameter. It's a number, and that came through. What's up, Wendy? So for me, you know, that was a and it went to, it couldn't have gone to a better guy. I mean, it went to my friend in Chicago, and you know, Dean, and so, bro. He's got a great collection, bro. He's got a fantastic collection of everything. I mean, comics, collectibles, and I was grateful for giving him and he bought from me the Walt 45. You know, he has the 45. He's got the 47. He's got, you know, he's got a remarkable collection. All low, very low, good rate, very rare mints, and so he had maybe an offer, and that was it. So yeah, on the marketplace, legit.
So yeah, something I kind of did want to talk to you about, depending on the rarity of something, you know, if we have a common, you know, generally speaking, and this is the rule, there are exceptions, that a sub 100 mint or a common would be about 10x the floor, whereas a sub 100 mint for like a secret rare is usually about 2.5x the floor.
That's a good. That scale's pretty accurate.
Yeah. What do you think would be, because I think there's not enough data yet for this next part, which is, what do you think the floor of like the top 4 or 5 highest mints of a collectible? Do you think that is, you know, for a common that's only like 4x the floor, and it's maybe 1.5x the floor of a secret rare? Like what have you noticed?
You know what? That's a fantastic question. We really, like you said, we don't have enough data right now, but I do know there will come a point in time when that is, could be 6 months from now, or maybe a year or 2 from now, but likely within that window, we're gonna have a better idea as to really what's really happening with respect to like actual values, like where the markets are really going to be responding. And right now we don't have that data. We really don't know. It's kind of like it's wishy-washy for those high numbers. I'd say maybe a 2 to 1, a 2x maybe is probably a little more fairer. But you have to realize too, look, high mint numbers are the unknown. And we really don't have much other than we have some sale history, and we have something we can go by. There's some metrics that, you know, if you go through the on the chain, and you can see where they were sold. But I don't think we don't have enough of it. And I know the low mints have this, you know, Mysterio on it with respect to, because, you know, they hold back a certain number or whatever, you know, and will they be released, and what kind of an impact that's going to have? Look, secret rares are very rare, right? There's only an X amount of number, and you could see just based on the way that they're minted, how much space that they have. And sometimes they're very close, ironically, but sometimes they're very far, and you really just don't know how many of those particular secret rares are in the queue with respect to comics, because they hop.
Yeah.
And so when you're talking about like a 201 being like the Genesis mint, if it's not a secret rare, if it is, it's even more rare, but there's only 200 prior total. So, you know, you have to realize, and if it's one per every, you know, X number of total NFTs, you know, per secret rare, you have to do the math just based on those numbers, and you'll see how many that are likely, how many are even in that top 200. And if it's not many, it could be 8, it could be 6, it could be 5, it could be, you know, whatever. But just figuring that out, just to know if you have the lowest one, say you have the 201 or the 208 or whatever, you know, very close to the 201 if the first one's released, you still are, no matter what happens, you're still like number 6 or number 7 in the queue of all time high, you know, lowest numbers. So when you're talking about high mints, we know 30,000 is, you know, is the top, or 50,000 is the top, or something, 60,000. You know what that number is. So if you're like, you know, on a 30K, if you're like 29995 or 29998, you know, I have that 29995, a Fantastic Four 5 with Doom. Secret rare. That there's 30,000 in there, but that's a 29995. It's that's it. It's the last one. I'm just saying that's the very last one.
So there's sorry, okay. There's what I've noticed is that I feel like at least for the comics, or this is with the comics. A lot of the lower mints tend to be the commons, and the like the number 2. I feel like there aren't too many rare, ultra rare, secret rare, like low mints. Like a lot of them, I feel like go to the commons. Is that true? Like the opposite way as far as the secret rares? All the secret rares are the last mints, or have you seen commons also go for?
Yeah, the way that they have it, the way that they have that it's total randomness, and they have it. But yeah, it's a really, I mean, for the values that I'm seeing in the market, like I will get to that in a minute in the conversation with respect to like where I'm at and where my head's at, because it's a conversation. But I mean, you know, there's a side of me that will part with anything that I own if the price is correct, if the price is fair, so to say.
Yeah.
But there are such fantastic, overwhelming deals in the market. You know what I mean? I can't. I'm not passing it up. So as a seller, I have my price, but as a buyer, I just can't look the other way. I mean, I've just acquired probably almost 30,000 in NFTs in the last 2 weeks, and all veve naturally, and I just picked up, you know, ridiculous deals, and people are okay with it because to them, like I said, last year when I'm over here buying, you know, MC1s, and I'm buying Fantastic Four 1s, and I'm buying, you know, Spider-Mans, everybody's still like, you know, thinking about Donnie and shit, and you know, and Risso and some of those older hymns and stuff. I'm over here locking up super comics, cheap secret rares for like 500 gems. 1,500 gems. I think I don't want to say that we're in that same mode right now, because I know it differentiates between rarity and the grailness of some of the beginning ones. However, these particular pricing and these price models that's been set right now from sellers, they're really just so cheap. So cheap.
I want to get to other mint numbers as well, but there's a couple of things I want to go over with that. I've seen Fantastic Four number 5, which is an absolute grail. That's going for like 2,500 gems. I was like, this is too low. This is stupid. You know, I kind of want to sell my. Actually, I might do it on what I might sell for that. Actually, right now, I might do that on the stream. Remember, I think one of the last streams I had with you, I think I bought my Walt last stream, right? So I have a Fantastic Four number 1 secret rare. So while I'm doing this, I'll ask you the question: what percentage of people? And we're gonna exclude the special mint numbers, like the, you know, number 41s or 2222, whatever. What percentage of people do you think are going to be like me, you, and a couple of other like whales or mini whales that will appreciate the high mint numbers?
Less,
like 1%?
No, less than 1,000. I can't say the number. I say about probably 1,000.
So in total,
you know, I'm honestly, high numbers.
Yeah. Like out of all the people that are going to come in, you think it's less than 1,000?
No, I mean, well, you're talking like right now, like.
Well, not the percentage of people, I guess, right now, and then how many people you think will be into it in the next
as time goes on, it's gonna go up. I think right out the gate right now it's probably less than 1,000. I mean, the real number. But I think that as time goes on, it's only going to increase in price, not just necessarily because of increased numbers to the app, it like just people coming onto the app. That's not the case. The metric's going to be because there's going to be less and less availability. And I think that the swarm and pool of loan mints are going to be just so dramatically out of affordability range that they're going to have no other place to go. Look, this isn't financial advice, but realize something. When you have super lows and super highs, that's where people want to be. And in the whole middle, it's just a collecting standpoint. But when you're looking at about like flipping and trying to get like a higher market, those high numbers and the low numbers, that's where there's going to be a lot of activity, the most activity. Yeah. But I think that we are probably, like I said, I think between 6 months and 2 years. I want to go that. I want to give it that range because we have to. First of all, we're in a bottom right now, and we're not even on the rock bottom. So and like I said, we'll get into more of this discussion now. But when we finally get, to the rock bottom, what will be historically considered the bottom, because we're not there yet. No. We'll get a chance to see really from the growth from that period, because it's only going to go up. It's like looking at Bitcoin go from 14 cents to $100, and then go back down to $1, and then go up to 3,000, and come back down to like $45. You don't know where those bottoms are until you see 60,000. Then you can say, "Oh, that really was a bottom." You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and you have to realize that. I mean, it's just a matter of catching a bottom and really seeing. We're going to see some lower lows and some lower highs as we go down. But once we come out of this doldrum of, just a bad of a uncertainty economy, and we start to climb, you're going to see a lot of these, a lot more numbers come into veve. And you can realize it's a comic spot. And then being with Marvel, like coming in the decons and the ccons, the veve in anything that's got like a physical connection, not just online stuff. Oof. I can't wait to go to New York Comic Con and see. Honestly, bro, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be like the tent city in LA, bro. I'm going to be there the night before. I want to be number one. When they open that door, I'm going to make sure, Yeah, of course. Those lines, what they are, bro. You know how they are. You could be 2-3 hours online.
Yeah, it's insane. There's, I think, what's his name? The late night TV host, Conan, made like a joke about it. It's called Line Con, or just in lines constantly. So the
a line con.
So for San Diego Comic Con, we are going to be right next to the Marvel booth. That's veve booth setting it up. Real talk, and I'll get back to mint numbers in a second, but do you think we get DC Comics? Because DC is not going to be at San Diego Comic Con. Their new marketing budget, it's not working out for them. But do you think we get them at some point?
I don't think. I know we have DC Direct. I know we have. Listen, look. If you have characters, if you have all the DC characters from a collectible standpoint, you understand? Hmm. It's like having all the Marvel collectibles and not having the Marvel comics. It's just an unlikelihood. Yeah. That it's not going to happen.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. It's marketing. Everybody's going to make money. I mean, I believe in pulling the rubber band back, because obviously the farther you pull it, when you do release it, the farther it goes. AKA X-Men 1, Hulk 1. I mean, obviously AF-15, Beast drops. We still have, some Amazing Spider-Man numbers that are good, that are coming out, and Fantastic Four drops too, 48, 49, Galactus and what do you call Silver Surfer's first appearance and stuff. These other comics, and they're coming out. They're going to be out. It's just a matter of when. And but don't get me wrong, because we're in such a sub 002 range, the burn rates are it's insane. And the bigger the drops we get, the bigger the burn, and the bigger the burns, we're gonna, bro. It honestly, and there's nothing that you can tell me right now that would ever foresaw anything being where we're at. And I would have thought if it was down here, it would have never went down here and sideways from here. I thought it would have been flash crash shit, where we would have just touched 001, 0011, 0015, and then springboard back up. To be in this case as a sideways and possible, even a more possible 300, 000, OMI. From
Do you
here,
think we get to that 000, Omi?
100. We already kind of touched it, but yeah, I'm 100%.
So there's
I'm out of OMI, bro. I have zero OMI. I had the last 14 million that I had that I showed you. Remember that I had in the app. I had transferred over. Do you know when I transferred that over? That was 100,000 worth, because that was what I said I was going to do. I was going to pawn 100K in the veve app, which I did.
Yeah.
I say what I say and I do what I say, and I did it and I put it in. It was 14 million OMI. I had 100K in there, and when that bust happened with Luna. Oh no, I'm sorry. I apologize. No. When the notification came out with the Ascendix given 10%, I kind of called Foster. We made a deal, sent it over to him. It seen one day with him, and I immediately hit him back up and said, "I'm coming back out, bro.
Yeah,
I'm coming back out." Good thing I did. I would have lost probably another 25-30%, maybe more.
So
likely, you know what I mean? And I took the whole, at the time, it was only like 30K worth. So I had lost 70% from when I put it in value.
So, I mean, is there any part of you, and what percentage of this part is, because there's definitely a part of you that thinks like, hey, I might have messed up, like trying to time the bottom. What if they come out like, now that KYC and MTL are kind of rolling out, maybe we have another couple months. Maybe there's like, you know what, we're going to do MCP, we're going to do the market collectors points and program before we roll out OMI utility. But what if they don't? What if they decide, hey, we're rolling out utility right after San Diego Comic-Con, and suddenly it goes up to 0.003, 0.045, and then you don't? How worried are you about that?
Look, I don't have my money marinating in United States Bank. Number one. Number two, I don't have it in stablecoin either. I always have things moving. And as time goes on, my number keeps going up. And if it does opposite of what I believe is going to happen, then so may it be. But I know what I do know is that I will still come in to the market with maybe 30 or 40 million, worst case scenario, if it's in that range. And I'll still be okay, because it'll be about 100K worth. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'll still be good, because I'll still have 25, 30 million, and I'm okay. And you know what? Looking at a 0.003 as a CA or a cost average,
still pretty good.
It's still phenomenal. I mean, I look at my original buy of Cardano. It was at 3.5 cents, and I put 25 grand in. But realized something, which was fantastic. Got 700,000 ADA, great. But I had $1,500 extra that I put in a V chain, and it was triples. It was 0.003, 0.3 of a penny, which is what we're talking here. And I got 500,000 V chain, which I had dumped it all the way up into the teens. It was like 13 or 14 cent before it hit 20 something. As it was going up, I had dumped it. I didn't catch the top, but nonetheless, it's 2 cents now. So you know what I'm saying. So what my point is still at almost 2.5 cents, 3 cents. That's still a 10x, as bad as it is now from when I originally bought it. So in hindsight, just looking at it from that's fine, no problem. But that's if that happens. And as we go on to the thing, I know another 20 or so minutes, if we can, invite our great friend in. And that will help a lot of yourself as well as myself and other people that are watching. They'll give everyone a great insight as to what's possibly coming. And I know I'm not paper hands. You're really diamond hands.
Never sold.
But I'm not paper hands though.
Yeah.
And so I just want you to realize that, like, paper hands is, maybe a flipper, maybe someone that just doesn't have faith in listen, if I didn't have faith in anything, I would have liquidated everything I have, veve and all. I sold my one and only MC1 Secret Rare and flipped the 30K back into veve. I don't have any gems left. Damn. So, and I did that in less than 2 weeks. I dumped it. And what I'm making a point is because I believe that it was worth trading that MC1 SR for what I bought, what I got now. Sets and SRs that I never had, and super great mint numbers. And you know, it's like, you know, when you get into like defining diamond hands and, you know, I'm not going to sell. Listen, you're diamond hands, but how far are you diamond hands? 5 cents, you're not dumping anything. 10 cents, you're not dumping. I'm just making, you know what I'm saying? That's what
I mean,
diamond hands is very, you know, it's just a term that, you know, people make you feel like you're just a rock hard holder, investor, you're not dumping. But money, you know, if you understood the market enough to know when you're looking at historical charts and having resources that can show you things, I mean, look, I had 109, I actually had gone up to 119 million OMI. Okay. The majority of the sales that I was able to get through were like 4 and 5 million at a time. And I'm dumping from like 3.3, 3.1, and a whole crap load between 2.8 and 2.1 and 2.3 in that range.
Yeah.
I'm a lot of those red candles that you're seeing that got transacted. Now realize there's buyers on the other end buying. There was, you know, I'm seeing 600 and 700K, 800K, 1.2, 1 point, a whole bunch of 1 million buys that were, you know, feeding off of my my lumps. But I'm just saying, you know, in hindsight right now, if I take all of what I have back right now, I could be over 200 million OMI right now if I come in today.
I think that wouldn't be too bad.
And that's an 80 million OMI profit.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. So obviously what you did as of right now clearly worked. You clearly would have made so much more. You would have blown past me. I just got 12 million OMI recently. So it's 144.
Congratulations, by the way, on that. I seen that tweet, bro, and God bless you, bro. You're Godspeed, man. Look, I know we and you know, like I said, about 20 minutes, we're gonna speak to the, you know, our friend, the guy that was the, I mean, essentially the reason why I did what I did. And if it wasn't for him, and I'm not gonna lie to you, bro, it goes back to our last, I think our last stream. If you remember me talking about us possibly going to a 000, maybe definitely a sub. And we touched, and we got 9.
Yeah, we got very close.
And I think we were I think we were 003 or 004 at the time when we had the stream.
You know, it was several months ago. So yeah, we
or maybe even a little higher than that. And so it's unheard of for me to be saying that, but that's not coming from, I'm not the magician.
Yeah.
It's God's entry, bro. God's entry was the one that, you know, turned me on to looking at, you know, what he's involved in and on his technical analysis. And I don't know it like he knows it. However, when he's showing me certain things, and then I'm in other groups, I'm on a couple of Discord groups that I don't speak about with you that are in different coins. They're seeing similar stuff that he's seeing at then. And I'm like, wow, bro, this, you know, Bitcoin could legitimately crack 20K. And it did. It was 35, 36K at the time. I'm like, it's going to crack 20K? That's impossible. Or like
17.
I'm telling you, and he's not even telling me that.
Yeah.
He's not even talking about that. He was talking about strictly OMI and obviously Ethereum. They're telling me sub 20. I'm like, this all goes together. You know, Ethereum sub 1,000, Bitcoin sub 20,000, OMI sub 001. It's all relative to the percentages. I'm like, I'm like, you know what? Before the shit hits the fan, I'm dumping. And I just started liquidating, and one at a time, it just came out, you know? I'm going to have a tax sale I have to deal with, but listen, I'm believing we're coming lower, bro. And
I mean, I would love it if we did. I have really no money right now, but I could totally get more and then buy a little bit more at that point.
Of course.
But if, I mean, also once this burn starts coming from that circulating supply, that'd be super magical. But part of the reason why I think we don't get there is because I am advising one whale group now. I'm about to advise a second whale group within the next month, and it's pretty much just like, hey guys, buy and hold. It's like cooking, set it and forget it. And a lot of people have a ton of buy orders all the way down 2.00, like 98. If it does go there, which it's just going to go there for like a minute, like a hot New York minute. And just because I don't know how many other, like you sold because you knew, or at least you had that good intuition that it was going to go down, and it did. But I don't know how many other people are looking to sell right here. I feel like the people that are selling right here either really need the money, and if they do, they probably don't have that much, or they are like you, like, oh yeah, based on the 30-day and 90-day moving average is looking at to go down to whatever level. But I'm curious to see when he gets on, and I'll definitely talk to him about the risks associated with it, because he's had some pretty I don't want to say outlandish or out of left field. He's had some pretty not insane, pretty large claims, and some of them have come true, like the Bitcoin going to 17.8 and Ethereum going down to like 1K. But I'm curious to see what he says about that. But before he gets on, the other things I wanted to talk to you about was special mints. Like I love number 69. I love 420. What do you think about mints? Like what would be better, 420, 69, or number 888, or 2222, or 1234?
Yeah, that would take a consensus of specific numbers, and like when you see A, B, C, and D on Twitter, and the percentages, OMI going to this, and then you hit A, B, C, or D, and you look and it shows the graph of we would need some kind of consensus like that with respect to some kind of a poll that says put those particular metrics in and line them up and say which one you think is as a higher meaning for a buyer to buy because of that particular number as a question, and then just go from there. I mean, Cravel said $10.
I had to take a photo of that.
Who's that?
I that's so good.
Like as a name, that's your name. Like
I think that's Drake. Is that Drake giving, like, in his profile picture, giving the peace sign? I don't know, but that
only is the person's name. But what's up, pal?
But yeah, so those mint numbers, I thought, have you collected any of those number 69s or 420s?
I never got into special mint numbers, particularly. I obviously if it was the lowest particular mint or close to that lowest mint or one that I could afford and I got it, that was just because. But I'd never ever bought because of, well, except one time when I bought my when I bought the what do you call it, the Batman, the Todd, there was a Superman. It was in 1924, and there was a Superman out there for like, I don't know, 600 gems, 1924, and I just picked it up back when I first bought it. It was like 500 or 600. They were each the same amount, like 800, I think, was for the Todd at the time, and but yeah, I mean, it just. Some people get it, their birthday or a special year of their birthday year or whatever, and all that. It's pretty cool. I mean, look, if that's something that you want as a, I don't know how much it means to people in the sense of that's a whole nother poll you can get. Yeah. How does it really mean? What percentage do you think it's, does it mean a lot to you or not a lot? I don't know where the majority will go, but I do see it though. Don't get me wrong. They bring premiums.
Yeah.
Especially 69. I know 420 a lot. I mean, they do bring premiums because of it, but it's not so. I don't know. It's not a big mover for me. I mean, I haven't really seen too much of them being sold at high premiums. A little higher than floor. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I know Jericho. Walls of Jericho. He's a big fours across the board, double four, triple four, quad fours in all the variants. He's got a fantastic collection of the multiple fours, and so, there's people, I've seen people with twos and stuff, but I mean, those are unique too, because those are one of ones, there's not a double that, you know what I'm saying? If you have a whole collection of variants with that of all,
I got there's a couple, the common denominator, which isn't too fantastic, but there is a fantastic thing at the end of this, which I don't know if I can say. There's a couple of my friends and a couple of people that I just advise that have sets that are all, hey, this entire set, is sub 100, or this entire set is, sub a certain number. And I think what you'll see after we have some OMI utility and staking is that you're going to have not only trading, but the ability to sell an entire set, not just one collectible. You'll sell the whole set by itself. What do you think a entire, I know we go through seasons, like season 1, season 2, season 3. What do you think, like a set of like Adventure Time, one of the season 1s, or like the DC Bombshells, all sub 100? What do you think certain sets would go for?
Those are even the Marvel Mighties, I believe, are gonna they're those series 1. I always say the series, it's just like Garbage Pail Kids, season 2, the season 1, it's like this is season 2, season 1's like up here. Like there's such a series 1 or season 1s of things that the same with Pokemon. You know how it is. How a lot of the first series.
That's the best. Yeah,
it's just insane. Like it just like second season in series 2 was just not even close second. And I think that they, especially Adventure Time and stuff, they will bring all full sets too. Sub 100, anything double digit is going to bring. They're going to be rare. That's why I always specified on your, and I always brought to light that the importance of having full sets includes every one of the variants. Now, if you can catch all the variants under certain numbers or in sub low mints, like as I've done, that's a double whammy. But having each one of each variant, at least, regardless, is going to put you ahead of the game of you're already rare that you're going to have a secret rare, but to have each one of the mints, each one of those particular variants are going to have high premiums because there's going to be people without one of them. You know what I mean? They're going to they're going to have all 3 or 4. They're not going to have the one. They might not have an ultra rare, or they might not have a secret rare. I mean, it could get to the point they might not have even an uncommon. I don't know. I'm just making a point. But having all of them, you lock that'll bring a premium of having that full set because you have the full set. No, there's not a lot of people going to have that full set.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of people, everybody's got to do stacking and shit. I mean, look, I have some things that are stacked. The MC1 Commons, I'm stacked. Journey to Mystery 8085, I'm stacked. There's a couple other ones I'm not going to name right now because I don't want people going crazy. But, Avenger 8, I got a couple a little bit. I did a couple things when they were cheap because I just actually, in fact, I think the Journey into Mystery 85, I paid a little bit higher than it, a lot higher than maybe even a double than what it is right now for those commons. But at the time, it was, and I still think is a fantastic buy. I
bought a lot of the first appearance of America Chavez. That was the Vengeance #1. And even though she's a relatively new character from the 2010s, I think she's going to be good for 2 reasons. One, because if you look at, and I promise I have a point to this, the comic book that Superman, his son came out as like bisexual, that was like one of like that particular comics that was like the most pre-ordered comic because a lot of people on the left and that LGBTQA plus community decided like, I'm going to get this because X, Y, and Z. And when you have America Chavez, somebody that has 2 biological moms, which I don't know how they did that, but comic book writing, they I feel like that once like the kind of left kind of gets a look at that, and she's a woman and she's Latina, then it'll go nuts. Yes. Plus the fact that she's in the Young Avengers, and she's what, like 16 years old? She's going to be in the MCU for 20 years. So I bought a lot of Vengeance #1s. I have that whole comic set, and the other one was the Marvel Point Now, Point Ones. Those are the ones that's the first appearance of Kamala Khan, who's Ms. Marvel. And so I got a bunch of those commons, and then I got a couple of those secret rare as well. Because again, she's supposed to be a teenager, and she's going to be in the MCU for like 20 years.
Oh no, I mean 100% with that. I mean, I agree. First of all, the MCU is it's going to grow. It's going to grow. It's going to grow. And not only in I mean, just from the people, just from the us people like putting money into and watching the movies are going to keep growing. It's going to be and obviously as you increase the characters in each MCU, you create more movies out of each of those particular characters. So and that's just going to keep building. And then obviously the audience, us, we build on that. We and there's a generation of kids that aren't even born yet that are going to be 15 years old in 10 years, 15 years. It's going to be, these other characters are going to be seasoned, and what you're saying, like having stacks and stuff of things that are, and it's just so cheap right now. Like the Marvel Point Ones, like, bro, what'd you pick up those comments for? Less than.
They were like a couple dollars. They were under retail. I was like, this is
definitely that. I know that.
Stupid. Yeah, it was so ridiculously dumb. I was like, this is dumb. It's
like giveaway.
Yeah,
it costs more to mint than what you paid.
Yeah, I was like, this is ridiculous, and people are just, oh god. I mean, this is like a really good time to buy because a lot of the people that used to use bots, they're selling everything at a discount just to get their stuff out before they have to KYC. So this is like shopping week.
Is there going to be a like an expiration on the KYC if you don't get in before a certain time, then your account's gone? Like, how do they?
I don't think, because then like how would they do like new accounts? Like I think that unless you're talking about your account can only exist for a certain amount of time.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe that's what.
Because think about it, if the bots don't ever KYC, then they could just sit there into perpetuity. I mean, you know what I mean, until they sell those items. I mean, you know what I mean, unless it's not that they would sell it, we have to KYC it, but they're gonna just sit there and just showcase the item that they can't sell. That makes no sense, right? But they sell if they can't get their money out. No.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. That's a good point. All right, now we got to bring on our homie, the guy that we've both met independently, but we have not been in the same room together with. Mr.
There he is,
Mr. Goldberg from WWE over there. What's going on?
Hey, listen, somebody came and visited me out in Vegas. You know what I mean, for a nice time. You know what I'm saying?
We had a little fun.
You know what I'm saying, Randy? No problem. You've been to California twice. You passed me both times. I mean, one phone call. Come on, bro. We're East Coast guys, bro. You know what I mean? We don't get out there that long.
When OMI moons, we're gonna go crazy. I'm gonna be going everywhere. We're gonna be going to like Europe, Australia, Japan, Colorado. We're gonna go over Hawaii. Can't wait.
I don't know if you might be. If I don't get in time, you might be going. You have to send me the private jet, bro.
It's so good that we have God's entry here. For those of you that don't know, he's been on Cavel's channel, I think at least once, if not twice, and absolute beast at technical analysis. The only person I've had on that does really TA is Crypto Rain, who's really, really good. I really like him. And he was just doing a little bit of it, saying we have like a W pattern. But it was more for the future on how where he thinks it'll go. But short term, we didn't really talk about too much. So I'm glad that you're here to be able to go and say like, hey, what do you think the charts are looking like? And how much do you pay attention to the macro? Is it just the charts, 36-day moving average, and this is what they say? Or do you have to take that in conjunction with what's going on in the real world and put a spin on it?
Well, first, thank you for having me on here to hang out with you guys. Appreciate it. Right now, I'm paying attention heavily to the macro. So I'm trying to not catch the bottom of the cycle, but I want to see stabilization before I start really jumping back in. This isn't my first cycle. I've been in the beginning of Bitcoin. I've seen every cycle. I've traded since 17, so I'm pretty confident in what I'm seeing right now. So I don't want to give you bad news.
Oh, no. I mean, whatever the news is, like pretend I'm Aragon and you're Legolas. What do your LFIC Legolas? Like what
we're close to a bottom. We're close to a bottom, but we're just not there yet from my
standpoint. And
if you share a couple charts to show you, if you'd like.
Yeah, can't wait. So as you're bringing that up, what do you think is the biggest signal that would be for like the bottom? Do you think it's like, and what's the signal for like the recovery? Is it the government saying, hey, we're finally in a recession, because we've had the last 2 months of like negative GDP growth or whatever it is? Just curious how you define that.
Hold on, let me just bring this up. Here's this one. I want to see. You got my screen.
There we go.
I want to see inflation stop. I want to at least see inflation peak and plateau. That's what I'm looking for, because I believe that's when the market's going to get back in. Like I assume there's a lot of dry powder right now, sitting on the sidelines waiting for the right moment. Okay, this is the S&P. I mean, there is another world out there besides veve and OMI. We have to pay attention to it because it does affect us.
And Bitcoin.
I look at it. Every single night I compare what Akomi does to Bitcoin, the S&P, the Dow, and the Nasdaq.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep everyone in the loop, but yeah, keep going.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to help everybody out, just so they kind of get an understanding what's going on. All right, so on this chart, this is 6-month candles of the S&P. All right. If you look closely, we have what they call bearish engulfing candle. That's generally that means continuation to the downside. And we've only printed this 4 times in history. Okay.
You see this, Randy? You see this? Yeah. 4 times in history, bro. Watch this.
All right. Well, 1929.
Yeah.
And then we had 2.5 years more to the downside. 1962, which actually was a bottom. What's this? 69, we went down for another year. In 73, we went down for another 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 out of 4 times it was continuation to the downside. So we, you can't just, we have to pay attention to this. I believe I believe this month we're going to have earnings calls in the market. They're not going to be good. Inflation numbers. What we need is true capitulation. We need everybody just to fold and give up. And that's how you reach a bottom. With all this stuff going on with Celsius and everybody, we need everybody to get liquidated. I mean, that's basically just what it is. We need them to get liquidated. But this is the main chart that I'm looking at right now. I don't like that candle.
So when we do get that capitulation, do you expect and I know it's going to be different for whichever one, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, S&P, or OMI, do you expect a V-shaped recovery, or do you expect like a slow, hey, we're slowly getting the heart rate back?
If we don't get a stimulus right now, they don't give people stimulus, we won't get a V-shaped recovery.
Okay.
We would have to grind it out for like 3 to 6 months, maybe even longer, going sideways. So
that's fine.
And that's accumulation. It's good. This is like the buy time of a lifetime coming up. I'm just being patient. Let me flip to this other chart. So everything that's happening is actually quite normal. Back here in 14, Bitcoin came down 86%.
Mm-hmm.
We did the same thing in 18, came down 84%. And this is my buy zone that I made up about like 6 months ago. And, if we come all the way down 85%, we're around 10,000. The only thing that's
cheap.
But there's something that's concerning me is the herd is usually wrong. And now everybody's getting bearish and they're calling for these numbers, just like they did at 20K. So when everybody calls for one thing, they're wrong. It's just the market just does that. So everybody's calling for 1410K right now. So
and you think they're wrong in which way? You said they're calling for 1410K. Do you think we don't get there, or do you think we somehow blow past that and go lower?
We can actually go lower. That's what I'm afraid of. Like, I'm not guaranteeing that. I'm just saying everything I say is a possibility.
Yeah.
So I just, I want to see, like, right now we need to see a couple weekly candles. Let me show this other chart. I'll give you some positive news real quick. I don't be Dr. Doom all the time. But
yeah, the 241.
I want that one. All right, so this is Bitcoin. All right.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they call the golden ratio indicator, Fibonacci indicator. Like when I trade, I do a lot of my trading is off of what they call Fibonacci.
Yeah.
Just so you get what this is based off of. These 2 yellow lines is what they call the golden ratio zone. So let's go back in history real quick so you can see what happens. Like things just seem to repeat over and over. So I like to play it that way until it doesn't work. Let me get back here. Sorry about that.
And that between those yellow lines, that like yellow brick road, that's the buy zone. That's the best.
That's generally the bottom. Okay. So it calls the top and it calls the bottom, this indicator. Usually when we come in these 2 yellow lines, it's time to accumulate either way. So it did that back in 14. They did the same thing here.
Mm-hmm.
In 18, it called the top exactly. It doesn't get the bottom to the bottom. It just lets you know when it's safe.
Yeah.
So it actually called the top correct. It just took longer to play out because this whole run up here, there was no volume actually in the market. So we need volume to sustain price.
Yeah.
But currently, right now, we're in this zone. So generally, that's a good buy opportunity.
Okay. So we're in the zone now where it's relatively safe, but you said you think it could go like lose another 40, 50%.
Well, this is why right here. All right, real quick. All right. First off, I was going to show you something like TA works, because you always say you don't understand TA, but I'm going to show you really quick. It works. Let me hear. So this is a downtrend, right? And then we go into what they call a bear flag. That's this channel. So you just take this measured move and you extend it. And you take this from here to here. Go look. We've hit the target.
And what is that?
This is what they call bear flag with a bear pole.
Okay, but that's going down. Okay, so that went down to the 17, you said, right?
Yeah, so we actually hit our targets. Like if everything wasn't going on in the regular stock market, I would say this is it.
Yeah, but because of what's going on with the recession, that's why it's
it's a variable that it's hard to figure in right now, because Bitcoin has never been in a bear market. We've only been in an uptrend the whole time for the stocks. Here's another indicator. This is the one I'm waiting for. It's called a pi cycle, top and bottom. And let me so you can see how well it works.
This is what he showed me. This is what I seen.
This is what I'm waiting for. Okay, it calls the top, relatively good. What happens is, get this closer so you can see. When this red line actually crosses the blue line, it signals the bottom. Okay. And it's really pretty good. I mean, all these aren't going to get you the exact bottom. The idea is,
but it's close.
The idea is just to be safe, in my opinion. Look, we cross here, it's the bottom. So right now we're getting ready to cross, but what concerns me is this blue line is sloping down.
Yeah.
Every other time we were going horizontal.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like we need a strong flush out, just to flush everybody out of the market. And it's just how it goes.
So what's your take against, or the question, hey, in 2014, 2018, Elon Musk, Michael Saylor, Grayscale, Michael Stratt, Jack Dorsey, that weren't in Bitcoin, and now they are. And that's why a lot of people are saying, okay, well, we went down to 17 and maybe we go to 15 or whatever, but going down to 10 seems not impossible, but it seems very unlikely considering all the big names that have a ton of money that are already in that are probably not selling right now.
All right. So believe it or not, the bigger the names that are in, they can actually push the price down lower because they're greedy. They want cheaper Bitcoin. So you actually make more Bitcoin by shorting.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. And generally with trading, I block out all the news and I block out all the fundamentals, because it really doesn't, it just becomes noise. It changes your decision to things.
Okay.
So.
And I know I'm gonna fight back on this point, but I guess we'll start with Ethereum. I guess once Bitcoin, as you think, let's say, does get between that 10 and 14 mark, what do you think happens to Ethereum, and then what do you think happens to OMI based on that?
Okay, so generally, Ethereum's like a laggard. Like, it will come to a bottom after Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
So, because Bitcoin needs to take everything from the market to sustain itself to go back up again.
Yeah. So
that's a problem. Like, usually the ETH will bottom like a month or two later.
Okay.
Here's my ETH chart. Not this one. Like right now, if we were in a stable market, I'd be like, this is it. Just at least DCA some money into the market. But I'm going to show you my buy zone for ETH. This is a head and shoulders pattern.
Yeah.
The technical target is around $300 to $400.
You see it, Randy, and realize something. And I don't mean to interject this, but
sorry, I'm just trying to.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way that OMI sustains a 0.0 anything if Ethereum's 60% lower than, or 70% lower than it is right now. I mean, that's realistic.
So here's why it's a little bit of a different beast, is because one, like there's OMI's very, very top heavy. Most of the people that have it are not, they're not selling. Like David and Dan aren't selling. Other people that have billions of tokens are not selling. There's one or two people that probably would sell just to try to like hurt it. But again, like they have so much, why would you sell here? But for the most part, most people that aren't selling, I mean, the volume is pretty low right now. It's like 1.1, 1.2 million, every day, which is like nothing. But also, they are going to turn on OMI utility this quarter, and they are going to start burning from circulating supply. So either it goes and OMI gets low, OMI's price goes lower while the market cap goes lower in conjunction with that, because there's going to be less of them, and maybe we do get there. But also because, again, I was telling Pags before you got on, I'm advising one whale group now, along with random others that aren't part of a group, and then I'm about to advise another one, probably within the next month or so. They all have buy orders like set, ready to go.
Well, that's something I want to say. If we do have a capitulation candle and you're not set up and you have a plan for what you're doing, there's a good chance you're not going to get the entry, because a lot of times when this happens, the exchanges freeze for a couple hours because they can't handle it.
Yeah.
So if you don't have your orders set for your spot buys, like you're buying without leverage, you might not get it. That's why, hold on, let's go to OMI real quick. Oh, here, just to finish off with ETH.
Yeah.
To think that it can't go down 93%, that's what it did the last cycle. Went down 94%.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's a little bit laggard behind Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But this past cycle, believe it or not, ETH actually led the market, so that may have changed because, that's something different from this cycle from the last. Yeah. All right, let me, and I would actually follow ETH more than I would follow Bitcoin for OMI. Don't worry about it.
That's on the same network.
Well, ETH is like, is the leader of the altcoins.
Yeah.
So to speak,
Fair point.
So Bitcoin, OMI makes moves when Bitcoin is stable and going sideways.
Yeah.
When Bitcoin's going sideways, I don't know if you noticed, that's when OMI makes its big bumps.
I haven't. I've noticed that OMI does tend to operate pretty independently from Bitcoin. Yes, only when the coins kind of aren't really doing much.
Yeah, exactly.
What I do. Yeah.
Is exactly how it goes. Or what I've noticed. Now here's OMI. Just showing you what's going on with this. All right, this is a trend line. It was resistance here, support. We broke it. Now it's not my fault. It was support. Now it's resistance. It actually, it went over a little bit, then they send it back down. Yeah. So right now we're coming into that trend line. All right. So we have to get over this trend line. And even if we do, we might only pop up to here and then roll back over.
What was up to that white mark? That 0.00?
It's like the 16.5 or like 0016.5. I wasn't going to say, this yearly up here, this is the main resistance to OMI, the 0022. Once we get above there, it's game on.
Yeah.
So I assume this is all going to be accumulation down here for quite a while till the market stabilizes.
Yeah.
Now, when I shared this strategy, I'm not saying that it's going this low. I'm just trying to share a strategy, how you can place orders so you don't have to try to time the bottom. Like for anybody that's looking to get in or whatever they're doing. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's going all the way down here to 00065. What I'm saying is you just take a grid and you place a bunch of orders and get a nice average price if it does dump, because if we have capitulation in the market, you're not going to have time to buy because this is going to bounce right up.
Yeah.
If it goes down, whoever has orders gets it, and whoever doesn't, they miss it. So that's one thing I could say about that.
Yeah, so that's why I kind of, I guess, fight against that a little bit, is because I do know people with large amounts of money that have the orders set already, and pretty much, if it does touch 3 zeros, 0.00, like 9, 9, 9, 8, 9, 7,
I'll be buying.
Yeah. I mean, if it gets down there, there's going to be so much volume if it gets down there.
Right.
I don't think it gets below 0.009.
All right.
Like nine, yeah, just because of that.
Well, let me show you a perspective real quick.
Yeah.
So a lot of people bought right here, this 0.1 or 1.1, whatever it was here.
Yeah.
Price went up, you know, whatever. We went up pretty high up here. We went 60% or 40% rather. But where it's at right now, all those people are in profit. You mean to tell me we start getting catastrophe in the rest of the market, these people aren't going to take their money really quick?
Oh, I'm sure some of them already have.
They get nervous. People get nervous in a down market.
But
so anything what I'm trying to say is anything is possible. You can't just say it won't happen, because anything is possible.
I get anything is possible. And yeah, like some people that, you know, we're in it for like a quick flip. Yeah, make 40% in a couple of days. I'm almost positive they've already taken profit.
Randy, but, we have to talk about what's possible, because when we were at 00, like 40035, and God Entry was going through sharing some of this, but earlier stuff, because now we're even deeper into this. You know, there's even a lot more data now, and he's telling me, you know, I didn't want to say nothing, but I wanted to tell you at I want to tell you 007 and 00 in the high sixes that we're going to likely see 002 and sub 002. And I'm saying to myself, wow, bro, if you wanted to warn me then, I could have just saved $200 and something $1,000.
You made a lot of money, yeah.
And value I could have saved. Now, you know what? Before I lose another 200 and something thousand on top of it, let me pull. You know, he's saved me a lot of value, bro. Like I said, I could come into this market right now and collect 200, likely a little over 200 million OMI right now, for the same price that you know what I'm saying. I'm just saying, and I'm not getting greedy, bro. I just don't want to lose value. I'm making money right now with my money that I have. You know, I'm in hard assets. I have other things going on. I have other investments, and I'm trying to time this to where I can be able to get the profit and those margins off of the money that I have right now, bacon, and put back into OMI and the market in general. You know, he was telling me about XRP looking like sub 40. I'm like, nah, really? Bro, we were at 65 cents. I dumped it, all of it. 335,000 XRP, bro, gone. Like, no problem. And I'm seeing like 30 cents now. And I'm like, he's still telling me if Bitcoin capitulates, we could see even lower. I'm like, sub 20, possibly sub 20 cents. XRP. Well, these are ridiculous numbers, dude. And look, I don't care if he's wrong. That's fine. But guess what? I know what I have right now. I know, you know, how much liquidity and capital I have. That's real money I have. I'm not taking a chance another 40 to 60 to 80%. I mean, this is insane from here.
I'm not trying to predict anything. I'm just trying to read the charts, show you what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't about being right or wrong. Like, first off,
right.
For this community alone, for this community alone, I'm just really trying to help you guys. I'm not interested in helping other traders.
Yeah.
To be quite honest. Like, I want to help the veve community, because there's going to be a point in time where we're going to get flooded with whales, and I'm not going to show them this stuff.
Yeah. No, I mean, this right here is probably like this, you know, the last 20 minutes you've done. I don't know how much you would charge for like this masterclass. Probably a good amount. So I definitely appreciate this. And I think what will benefit the viewers most is getting every piece of the puzzle. Like, obviously the TA, obviously what Pags is doing, but then also hearing that with a bunch of the whales that a bunch of whales are already in, but a bunch of that we're going to get. When you have, if this were to go, let's say it gets like, what is it, 0.0014. Let's say it goes back down to $300 million market cap, and it goes down to like 0.001, or even 0.009, and it goes to like 270. At that point, the market cap is so low.
It's not going to take much to move the price.
Well, what I'm saying is that the market cap is so low. I know people that will buy the whole supply, like that are 100%. They're buying. I'm letting you guys know, like and we'll talk off camera about who it is, but they're 100% going and buying everything they can.
I'll be one of them. I'll give everything I got. I'm gonna flip my ETH trades into OMIs that's my plan. I got some ETH shorts. As soon as I close them, it's going right into OMI. It's exactly what I'm doing.
He tells me that, Randy, on the side, like with on a private, man. He's coming in, bro. So
I can't wait. I can't wait. And even Wendy's like, who's not buying in now. She's waiting for entry price. So everyone seems to agree. Dan Lee's calling you gangster. And people have crypto rain.
I just want people to understand what's going on. Like, we're not going to zero. We're going to recover. Everything's fine. But there's external factors going on in other markets that are, keeping us down. Like,
yeah, no, agreed.
They're guys with enormous amounts of money. They're not looking to invest right now until they see, some sort of stability or a signal. They need a signal that things are going to reverse.
Agreed. And honestly, Randy, and to tell you the truth, like I said, if it wasn't for the fact that I have other resources and I'm from an investment standpoint, I would be in the market right now. But I'm making money on my money that I have right now. So even if OMI doesn't go anywhere right now and it just stays right where it is, I have no problem coming back in the market at 1.3 or 1.4. Listen, I'd rather come in the market when it has absolutely hit rock bottom and it's on its way up. Because then I know from where I enter, like I was saying, if I come in at 002 or 003, I'd feel more confident because at that point I know we already went to the bottom and we only have up from there. But to test 30 and 60 and percent from here, it's not fair to me to just sit there and say, it's okay. I'll just ride out the bottom, especially if we can see what we're looking at. God's entry. We'll be looking at maybe like another 2 months, maybe 3 months, even a little longer, possibly November time.
Possibly. I'm hoping we could. Like, first off, you're not supposed to hope and pray and trading and investing, but
true.
I'm looking for this month. I hope we get true capitulation. Like, hopefully we get enough bad news they just sends the market down. If not, we could keep bleeding out until September. I'd say between now and September is good.
OMI Panda's also been in this for like 10 years. So he also thinks that we're nowhere close to a bottom, and there's, in it for a while. So I know you said that you hope it happens, but what if it doesn't happen this quickly? And you think like end of the year, and then we start a new and does that just as the bottom? Does that signal that doesn't signal the next bull run, right? That just signals a bottom.
Like you can see here on the chart, we ran up and came all the way back down before the next halving. So, but we're definitely going to get some pumps. In a bear market, you get rallies, 40-50% rallies. I mean, I just want to get to the bottom over with. This is what I was saying. 6,500 is definitely in the cards. This is what basically here, I'll just give it a tip. I mean, this is what I trade off of. I trade with pivots, basically. And they're based off of Fibonacci. And on the yearly, the bottom is 6,400. So technically by Fibonacci, we can come down here. Well, do I think it's going to happen? No, but I'm not going to discount that it couldn't happen.
Yeah.
So. Okay.
Good times. Thank you for the alpha. Thank you for what I imagine would be a $2,000 masterclass. You came on.
I'm just trying to help out the community, man. I want everybody to stick around. I want everybody to be here for the next bull run.
It's gonna be insane. So as we talk about that, let's say 2024, 2025, when Veveverse is fleshed out, we got all the they did the land sale. They have a bunch of other things that is in the Veveverse, and we could only hope that it's Star Wars land and Batman land, Gotham, whatever. But even if it's not as fantastical as that,
but we're also that would be another Bitcoin cycle at that moment as well.
That Bitcoin halving after 2024, 2025.
That's right here, April 2024. It's like
if you see, in that there or like a year after that, if we reach meme coin status, or even if we don't reach meme coin status, I guess those two things, where do you see us go in that bull run?
All right, I'll answer your question, but first I was going to, make sure everybody understands this. Here's the halving. Okay, mm-hmm. The reason I'm being patient is we don't go up too much prior to the halving. We can go up 200-400%, but we have time here. When we get to the bottom, wherever this bottom is, we're going to have time to go sideways a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but you want your bags packed by the halving. Like, you don't want to be buying after the halving. You want to have all your bags packed prior to halving, and then you're going to go into profit taking mode. You're not even going to think about buying anything. You're going to be thinking about your exits. Like, that's the correct
Exit
way.
sign, baby. Exit.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What your question was again? I forget.
It was, where do you think we go
Oh.
after the Bitcoin halve, like a year after, like 2025? If we're it's normal, but then what if we reach meme coin status?
All right. So basically, we'll call it from 0.00001. So technically, with fibs and whatnot, 5 cents is a really hard number there. Like, it's going to be 5 cents would be my target
For 2025?
for the next bull run.
For the next bull run, okay.
I'm not saying it can't go higher, but I'm saying, as like, if you 50x your money from here and you don't take some sort of profit on a 50x, I don't know what to tell you. Like, really, like, if you want to take at least your money out, some profit, and then you can ride the rest, but you got to, there's nothing worse than not taking profit.
When we do get, let's say, between 5 and 10 cents, let's say when we do get there in, like 3 years, are you going to sell everything, or are you just like, I'm going to sell half, and then are you going to rebuy in when it goes back down to like 2 cents? Or are you going to be like, there's other opportunities?
All right. Well, first, I don't like altcoins. I don't like them at all because I'm a leverage trader. I trade Ethereum and Bitcoin. I love OMI, so that should say something. Like, I'm not going anywhere. I love OMI. I believe OMI is going to be top 10, top 20 coin. On the next bull cycle, we're going to outperform everybody. That's what I think. Just from seeing everything. I will never sell everything on the next bull cycle. If we're lucky enough to accumulate here on the bottom of this bear cycle, you should, at the bare minimum, keep 25% of your bag.
Yeah.
So at the end of the next bear cycle, you can add to that 25%, and you can have a lower entry price for the next cycle.
Yeah.
So you should never sell everything. I mean, from my eyes, it's not financial advice. It's just, you always keep a small portion to add to later, because then it'll, like I said, lower your average price.
Yeah. So I have a couple of people that have offered to not only buy the yacht or buy cruises like that. We'll be having lots of fun going.
We're gonna have a party. That's for sure.
Oh God,
Did you say we're having yachts of fun? You're funny.
Of course we are.
So, what do you make of companies that are, let's say, like CPF? Have you heard of them?
No, I haven't. Who's that?
So CPF is a company in Singapore that, and it's going to be, there's going to be a lot more of these types of companies where Singaporean Supreme Court just said, hey, you guys can buy NFTs now. They're considered assets. So CPF says, okay, we're going to buy the normal stuff and we're going to also buy NFTs. And it would make sense that there's no confirmation, but are they going to buy a pixelated ape, or are they going to buy the first Mickey Mouse on the blockchain? It would make sense that Spider-Man and Batman would come before a pixelated ape, which has, next to no IP. And I think that in the future, we're going to have, I'm going to be talking to Janine Yorio on not this Thursday, next Thursday. She's CEO of Every Realm. Their company has the most land in Sandbox. Okay. And most likely they'll probably come into the veveverse, and most likely her and other people like her that I might get on the podcast in the next, month and a half are going to be going heavily into OMI. What do you make of, with not just millions, what do you make of when billions come into the space? And just the OMI space, not including the metaverse at large. I
think we're going to outperform everybody. I don't think there's an NFT platform even close to us. You can even really compare it to us, really.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, you look at all these other projects and platforms, they're having all sorts of problems. Like, our community is so big as it is.
To add to that, I mean, they're obviously, just based on the math alone, when you're dealing with anything in the triple or even double zero, anything, even in the single zero where it's just a single cent, under 10 cents.
Yeah.
When you have a deflationary coin like OMI, with what they have coming out, it's the burn rates it's gonna. I'm telling you, the circulating supply and reserve, it's gonna hit hard,
Yeah.
and I think just from the aspect of the timing, that's with the way the markets are going to come about. Like right now, this is like the best time. Right now, would you be happy with 22-cent OMI right now for at least burning? No.
For burning?
No.
Yeah, no.
You'd be like, shit, I'd have a lot of money. But then if you think about the long term, you're like, shit, it's going to take a long time to get to 33 cents based on this. But knowing what we know based on the way that the time is and the way that the cycle is and the way that the cycle is coming for the 2024, the new Bitcoin cycle and halving, this is this is actually the best scenario that can happen.
Yes, I totally agree. This is the best thing that can happen. We're going to hit this next cycle fully in stride. We missed the last cycle altogether.
Yeah, and the burn rates happening, like I said, and a 00 anything low like this, billions and billions and billions. And if they have, what do you call the monster like big beast drops and announcements.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just making a point. Look, and I would hate for this to happen, even though it would be great for everybody else. Because I don't have any OMI right now. However, can you imagine a Pokemon announcement coming now where we're in the 001 range? What the burn would be? No, the burn would be just on now. Wait, now watch. Imagine what the gem purchases would be. And can you absolutely imagine? I mean, just say we have full MTL, full KYC, full all the way through. We're done. It's August 10th, whatever. And we're fully in. We get forget about the drops. The drops are the drops. I'm just talking about the announcement. And now you start dropping the burn. I mean, for me, this is what I'm trying to say. I'm just making a point that we're at such a beginning stage, and we have all of this inventory in the veve app. We have all this collectibles and all these comics, and we're still only in the very, very beginning. And we have this, and it's this cheap. The burn rates are going to be ridiculous, bro. It's going to be ridiculous. And
I know.
When we're talking about 5 and 10 billion daily, I mean, how many days is it going to take until we blow through the whole thing? I mean, it's insane until it has to go up because people are just going to be buying OMI. There's going to be none available. There will not be any.
Twitter. Go follow. I get it. I think you have at some point you're going to have like this inflection point where there's going to have so much demand for the collectibles and the coin, and there's or at least so much utility with it. I mean, the first part is probably just going to be staking, locking up everything. I'd rather stake on the OMI app. I mean, the amount that I have that was worth 50,000 is clearly not worth 50,000 anymore on the app. But there's going to be people that are going to be staking for X amount of months or a year while OMI is this low, and then as it goes up, that amount is still locked up. It's just not $50,000 anymore. It's a couple $100,000 worth.
Yeah, and we don't have the exchange. We don't have the exchange information news yet. That's another thing. We get big exchanges. Big exchanges. That's gonna open up the doors for the buying and the selling. I mean, it's insane, and they got to buy their inventory too. I'm just making a point. Look, there's a lot of good and bad things that are out there. There's a lot of pump and dump stuff that's there. What's going to happen? Obviously, we don't have crystal balls. However, we have some kind of ball, and we can see something. And what he's shown us today, and what that basically dictates to everybody is that this just the future is based on the past, and we just have to follow that. And I'm telling you right now, of course, there's a lot of different things that are going on. We don't have these other things happening in the world, with war and stuff and food shortages and supply shortages, but we're coming around a possible new president coming into space. We're coming into a new Bitcoin cycle, and we're going to be coming out of a bear market. All three things those things are going to be crossing at the same time in 2023, 2024, going into the next cycle. Well, if that doesn't, I see good things, man. And
I do too. I see, and I get called a moon boy a lot, but if you look at, even Jay said next bull market, top 20, top 10. Assuming that no other crypto right now goes past its all-time highs. Let's say staying where it is to get a top 10, $10 billion market cap. Okay, well that puts OMI at like 3 cents right now, but that's when we're in like a bear market, you know. So assuming they only, let's say double, you know, 20 cents. So you're looking at about 7 cents there, give or take. And that's if we don't burn any OMI.
But I'm just making a point though. If we have some big decent drops that come in, like I was saying, comic or not, or announcements, and we burn, that changes the parameter of the cap. So you have to realize that that's important when you figure that out.
Yeah, that would be with no OMI burn. If we burn, let's say 50, let's say we go down to 250.
Easy that.
Yeah, then we go into, you know, it's 6 billion for 12 cents. You know, so it's, you know, that to get that $20 billion market cap, and we're at, you know, only 250 billion circulating supply. Okay, well now you're at like, what is that? Almost 8 cents. You know, so, or I'm sorry, that's like almost 10 cents.
Right.
Because that would be, so which is,
that's actually 10 cents, 10, 11 cents is the next target from 5 cents.
Yeah, assuming that, you know, we burn that much, which I think we would, because we also have at least a third, if they're going to do it this way for the drops, a third would go to people in the queue, a third would go to people using MCP points, and a third of people would do for the OMI utility that are going to spend a certain amount of OMI. And if they do that on every single drop, it just makes sense that, you know, a lot of people are going to use it. Like
reverse gamification and anything that comes out with in any kind of contractual participation from any other big conglomerates that we haven't talked about. It's going to run this. It's going to run this way up. You know, I mean, these are the good things that are happening, bro. I mean, it's just, you know, in the meantime, we just have to, you know, just keep accumulating, you know, whatever you believe, you know, DCA, that's it, man. Just keep going. I mean, I think that, you know, I think that holding 25 to like 40 mil OMI at any point, that's will put you in a financial position to do anything you want in your life.
Pretty much.
If you have anything over, you know, 60 to 100 and something mil, 120 mil in that range, you're out of the park. You know, and if you got 150 to 250 million, which 250 million is where I want to ultimately be.
I hope you get there. I hope you blow past. Do you have your buy order set? Like, are you ready?
I'm not yet. I don't have my liquidity on any exchange yet. I took all my capital out. As God Entry knows, I was with him.
I'm going to have to sell all my Dr. Dooms to get that money.
I'll sell my one to you, bro. That will be even. But I gotta. It's, you know, it's just a matter of you know, it's timing, and it's you need balls. I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, this is it. I mean,
when there's fear in this market, this is when you buy. Yep. I'm just saying there's a little bit more fear. When there's fear and chaos and everything's going to zero, that's when you buy.
Yeah, I have I have like a bad philosophy and like theory on our market in our world right now. And I don't want to say I'm waiting for the flash. I'm waiting for the, you know, the EMP. I'm waiting for the, you know, the lights out.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for something.
This is God's Entry, I'm curious to hear your mind on this because you pay attention to the macro. And maybe I'm reading into this because it just hasn't been reported on before. And now that it is being reported on, maybe I'm just seeing patterns that were always there, but were just never apparent. There seems to be a lot of farmland that has been going on fire recently. And that in conjunction with the fact that Bill Gates is doing nothing but buying farmland.
The land that's not on fire.
Yes. He's been buying land that hasn't gone on fire, and other farms have. Is that something that's always gone on? Is there going to be like I feel like there's the making of like this food shortage.
When me and God Entry were in Vegas just last week, I got the Monsanto for life on my neck. You see the, you know, the tattoos we got. We're on the other side, bro. We flipped now. But listen, man, it's interesting.
I think they're trying to force us to the digital dollar, so they got to control us to get us there. Unfortunately, I think that's part of it, to get everybody to need the government.
Yeah, the CBDCs are coming, bro.
Yeah, they want everybody so they could, you know.
So and this is soup. And I apologize to everyone that's listening that this is like super Alex Jones, but but not really. All right, so there's
it's happening.
Ghislaine Maxwell, who we during this trial, every single Twitter account that was following the trial got banned, and we weren't able to follow it. And we don't know any of the names of who was involved, even though we know that Bill Gates has been clearly photographed with Epstein. Ghislaine Maxwell doesn't give up any names, or at least not that we know. She only gets 20 years. Do you think it's possible that the government was afraid that Bill Gates is too powerful, that if we do this and we arrest these people, the world's going to descend into chaos, and we are going to go into like something that we can't get out of, like famine, or something like that? Or am I just being crazy? I hope I'm just being crazy.
No, I'm gonna let him go first, and then I'll
100% tell me, Chavez, you're dumb. This is stupid. You're connecting dots that aren't there. Please.
I don't think you're far-fetched, man. That's the truth. I don't think you're far-fetched. There's too many things going on, and I don't believe in coincidences.
Listen,
I think they're trying to push us to the digital dollar. I mean, if you're going to ask me,
look, I love you guys, but I want to say something. I'm a little bit more west than both of you, so if the tsunami hits, both of you guys are going to be gone before me. And just to let you know, I care about you. And just
where are you going to be?
I'm going to be on Route 80, bro, going west, bro. I'm close to Route 80. I'm closer to Route 80 than both of you guys. So you could jump on the Atlantic City Expressway. I don't know about him. He's going to try to Verrazano, but the bridge is going to be gone. So
oh God, I'll take a ferry to Connecticut.
I was going to say, I'll take the Staten Island ferry maybe over. Oh, where you going? 278.
So somebody else brought up is that it's good that we don't have exchanges right now, is because a lot of exchanges seem to be in peril. Do you guys think? Yeah. Do you guys think that there's going to be that they have a lot of them have solvency issues?
I would say if you're not in trades, please put your money on a cold wallet. Please.
What can I say?
We don't know what's going to happen.
Can I say something? Let me say one better. And Randy and I mentioned from back in September of 21, our very first thing. What I talk about Nexo, right? In my history with Nexo, and I just want to let you know something about Nexo. Not only do they differ, I don't know if you notice or not, but every single coin that is in there that you purchase, it's in a cold wallet. It's in a cold storage. It is every single coin that is on an Nexo exchange is in a cold storage. So and then I'll let you know. You could call them up. I'm a VIP member. I have a VIP rep that is personal, like cell phone. I mean, right to Bulgaria. I'm like direct line. I'm telling you something, bro. It is unlike any other exchange. I've never ever pushed it. I let you know, and I've shared and been transparent with everything that I'm involved in, and I do my research, bro. That is the only exchange that I know that is in cold storage, and I'm just telling you that for a fact. Now, but your keys, your coins, Ledger Nano Z, just grab it, and you got it. You know what I'm saying? Worst case, just do your thing. But you make a good point. You're right. If obviously OMI gets on, but okay, so what? So even if OMI gets on, what is that going to matter? I mean, it's just I'm just saying from a point of being able to the transactions are going to be able to, you're going to have a lot more liquidity in it. That's what brings the price up. I mean, Cardano was stagnant for a little while. Once it went to Coinbase and a Coinbase announcement, it just popped up, and then it went on this one and it's on that one. Before you know it, Cardano was on a lot of them. So it just you need that liquidity, and if that comes into OMI, it's gonna add more burn. It's gonna add more. I mean, obviously, even veve, the app alone, you're gonna have more participation in the marketplace. So it's all together. It's one basket. But if you you can just put your OMI coins in an OMI wallet, eComi wallet, and just keep it secure and just leave it there. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? You can
even put on a MetaMask wallet and lock it up with your ledger.
You can do that too. I don't like MetaMask though.
I've got a bunch of trust wallets. I think it was like the military that made me super like cautious and super like paranoid that somehow, even though they've never been on like any screenshots or emails and I just write them down, I think it's going to get hacked. So I only keep like 20-ish million OMI on each trust wallet. I have like 6 of them. And there's, so that's just what I do right now. I mean, I don't think they could ever really get hacked. Even if one of them does somehow get hacked, there's only like 20-something million in them. So it's not a huge deal. Yeah.
I was going to say one thing about OMI. OMI could actually have like wild cards status in a bear market. Because if there's no coins really going off, and people start to see what's going on with OMI, everybody could flood into it through a bear market. Like that's definitely possible.
Yeah.
So,
and that's so. Yeah, I really do think that, because we haven't done any marketing yet, and there's no, I don't want to say that there's only where to go but up. Obviously, anything can go down however much, but yeah, there's a lot of things to come that's going to make it really coveted.
Yeah,
and a lot of people getting in.
We're definitely in a buy zone right now. If there wasn't these external factors going on, I mean, I would feel comfortable saying just But if you have a 2 to 4 year outlook, I mean, these prices are probably pretty safe.
Yeah,
we got a lot of comic drops that are definitely in the cards. I can't speculate, but you got Spider-Man. We got anniversaries coming up. We have
115. What's 115? Fantasy 15 or Fantasy
AF15. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just. But you know what's so funny? Everybody's like, "Well, AF15. Look, I know it's a beast, but the MC1 comic and the Fantastic Four. I'm just saying. I mean, I know AF15's in there, X-Men 1, and just seriously though, the MC1. We've had this. It's already a year now on the app. It is probably. I think it's more Grail than Grail. It's really, if you got to just own that. If you just load up on that alone, that'll probably make you rich just by them alone. I'm telling you, the MC1 commons are probably going to be. I think the commons, because it represents the but that entire, you could stack them. It's probably one of the most underrated and undervalued items on the entire app. I know a lot of other ones. People got SRs and shit, but
plus you could take your money in little pieces when we get there.
That's
still have them.
Yeah, and NFTs are. I mean, it's an asset. You know what I mean? So, to put your money somewhere safe, it's a good bet.
Yeah. So I don't know what your guys' things are. They are gonna have people stop. You won't be able to stack gems. I know you won't be able to put in your credit card and just buy 10,000 gems and then just hold it. They do want you to only buy gems when you're using the app. Like, hey, I want to buy this Ben Riley for 2,200 gems. Then you could buy the 2,200 gems and spend it on that. But they don't want you to buy gems and just stack them. What do you guys make of that?
Yeah, but what they don't want and what will be allowed is two different things, or is that fact?
No, they're going to make it so that you can't just buy 10,000 gems and just hold it, because that does sit on their balance sheet as like a debt. That does.
So I see one of your items for 10,000 that you're selling. I have to now buy the gems because I have to obviously get them, right?
Yeah.
And now your item sells.
Yeah.
Shit, I missed it. What happened? What do I do with my 10K gems I just bought?
Oh no, it's only available on checkout. Like as soon as you have that item, and you have and you're about to buy now. When you hit the buy now, and then it brings you to the checkout, say hey, you need X amount of gems. It locks it so that nobody else can get to that item.
For how long? For how long?
As long as it takes like a minute, maybe.
It's going to take you longer than a minute to get 10,000 to buy 10,000 gems.
No, because when do you have the web app yet?
Yeah.
Web app, you just put in however much you want. You could buy it with a credit card, and it allows you to do however many.
Oh, I haven't bought in quantity. I haven't.
You could buy up to however how much your credit card allows. If you're like me, it's a small amount. If you're that's a profit. It's like 100 million, however much. But yeah, you could buy. Yeah, that's what you can do.
Oh, so all right, so you could buy the quantity in one bite like that.
Yeah, whatever your credit card allows.
I didn't even know that. I didn't know. I thought it was like there was 5,000, 10. I thought there was a max per purchase.
I mean, maybe there is a max amount. I don't think anyone's found that max amount yet. So, yeah.
I think it's good for the app long term.
Yeah,
it'll stop people putting stolen credit cards in and whatnot.
Yeah, it's also a good point.
Keep the value of the gems the correct value, possibly.
That's the conspiracy now. Yeah. I like bringing that up every now and then. It's fun to talk about. So when's the next time we're all going to? Because he met my friend Steve, the guy I served with. We were playing poker together. When's the next time we're all going to Atlantic City?
You coming down soon?
I'll be here So are you familiar, Randy, with Seaside Heights, New Jersey?
I think that's where my high school decided to have their like after prom. I did not go there though. I think I've been there like once, like
Okay.
when I was in the military.
There was a couple of clubs there many years. One of them was naturally Joey Harrison Surf Club, which is right on the water in Ortley, which is the next town over. And the other main club was called Temptations, and that was right on the strip there. And it was a go-to place in the 90s and 2000s. A good 2 decades of I mean, just the greatest music and the greatest experiences over time. A lot of fun. I had a lot of times over there, memories. And one of the DJs, his name is Denny Chetos. He's very well known. He was a resident DJ there at Temps. He's basically going to be at the Borgata this Friday, the 8th. And my wife and the kids were going to go. I'm going to be there from Wednesday to my birthday's on Sunday. I'll be leaving Sunday morning. But so yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, bro, definitely.
Wait,
man.
so the birthday is not tomorrow, it is a week from tomorrow?
Yeah, the 10th. So
okay.
Yeah, so I mean I'll be there, and got entries a stone throw away from there, so we'll probably meet up. And wife will probably be doing the beach with the kids. And
sorry, is that
I just seen some big moth, something going on.
Oh, I just had a huge firework. Like just
it's a sign, Randy. You got to come to Atlantic City.
So July is so busy. I have a meeting on Thursday, and I have another meeting on Friday. I have meetings all weekend, next weekend. So unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to. I would have, and they're in New York City, so it's kind of like close to there anyway. What day are you leaving?
I'll be going Wednesday morning here, leaving here, and then be down there, for check-in, and then for the whole weekend. I'm bringing the kids. It's a cool thing. Do the beach thing and the boardwalk thing. They got the one casino down there, the Showboat. They turned it into like a big arcade, and apparently they'll be doing some kind of like indoor water park, largest in the state or somewhere in the world. I don't know. They're doing something over there. It's going to be like a big, just drop your kids off and parents go gamble type spot. Yeah, I mean, I just it's going to be pretty cool. And then if you make it down, you make it down. If you don't, listen, it's all good. I know that we'll definitely be at Comic-Con. I'll be at
When is that?
Comic-Con. It's coming up. It's
October 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Yeah, it's the 4 days, Thursday to Sunday. I got the Friday and Saturday spots.
Nice. Dude, you should go to the cruise. Comic-Con has a cruise each year where on Friday it's like a 4-hour cruise around the Hudson. It's so good, so much fun.
Comic-Con on the water.
It's like it's. I don't know if I don't know if it's an official Comic-Con cruise, but everyone goes to it every year. It's so exciting.
What is it? A party boat?
Yeah, it's like there's a bottom deck, there's a normal deck, and then there's an upper deck. So it's really cool.
And what do you mean? Can you float from deck to deck, or is that different ticket?
Yeah, you can go whichever. Like there's like different areas of the party. It's really fun. Dance competitions. That's a good time.
When is that?
That's every Friday of Comic-Con. So.
Oh, what?
Feel like for Comic-Con each year, it's always on Friday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I'll be there for Friday.
Pier like 83, I think, or Pier 80 something.
Yeah, it's right down. It's right down there.
Yeah. So that'd be exciting. So, that was. Yeah, I'll go. I'll be at San Diego in a couple of weeks with Taps. I'll be at DesignerCon. Are any of you guys going to go to DesignerCon?
Where's that at?
It's in Anaheim.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
That's in November.
That's the one that was last year when I was in Vegas and you flew out.
Yeah.
It was just like drop to drop. It was like it was insane. I grabbed the the what do you call it? I grabbed Eve, of which it's funny we're talking about it. We're like days away from that color statue of Eve that I ordered back then.
You got an email?
I got the email of that it was coming in July 2022. Right?
Okay.
I hit them up, and it took like a month before they got back to me. Okay. And they got back to me and said July 2022, and so like 7-month back order.
Wow.
And
Jeez.
and yeah, and then the two Mr. Cartoons I got, two low mints, 44, 53. But you know, the cat Bronson.
Yeah.
That's all I got out of that whole thing. But there was just drop after drop after drop. I was like, "This fucking, what the fuck are they doing?" They're like, "Oh, again." It was only like a couple hundred. Like each one only had a few hundred like additions.
Yeah,
You know
we'll be doing that for San Diego. There's going to be a bunch of drops, the con exclusive ones. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah,
can't wait.
You're gonna go to San Diego now, and then you're gonna come back home, and then in October you're gonna go back in Anaheim.
No, October is in New York. November is in Anaheim. Yeah.
I mean November. Yeah.
There's a. I mean, for NFT NYC and the Uncharted event that I went to the day after, I had mostly it was just work. I was just talking to anyone who had listened about OMI. So when I go there for San Diego, and I'm pretty much gonna be living at the booth. Everyone that's gonna go to Marvel, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, how's it going? Oh, nice Spider-Man outfit. Do you want to collect Spider-Man? You know, in the virtual world." So I'll pretty much be doing most of that. Outside of, you know, if anyone else wants to go.
You're gonna be in a Spider-Man outfit?
No, I'm not really in any shape right now. I'm not gonna be able to cosplay, but
why? Just put it on. What are you worried about?
I can, man. I don't look good. I don't feel good. When I get back in shape, I'll do it. But I'll just be in like veve gear or something.
Yeah. That's cool. Who's going out there? You got all the crew, same crew.
I don't know if David and Dan. I don't think David and Dan will be there. I think maybe Alex and Reese, and maybe I met the girl who they just hired to take over like the social media. I don't know if Alex is still doing it. She is going to be doing the TikTok. I think she is pretty well versed in anime. At least that was on the description that they were asking for. So I don't know what the big announcement's going to be at Comic-Con. I hope it's probably going to be something Marvel related if we're right next to their booth. Maybe comic book announcements or whatever. I don't know. Marvel will announce Fantastic Four stuff at Comic-Con. I don't know if they'll announce stuff on Disney Plus. That might be for D23 over in September. But yeah.
Okay. Rabbi probably gonna go. What Wizard?
Yeah. What Wizard will probably be there. I know Tab's. There's the people who from the family are there. But even if you don't go for the con, it takes over like the whole city. Like it takes over Petco Park. That's like right across the street. Like 6 blocks down. Everyone's still in cosplay. It's amazing.
That's pretty crazy. All the drops that they had last year, if they do anything like that this year, man, I'm gonna shut the app off till like December. Crazy,
you know how much OMI we're gonna burn? It's gonna be amazing.
Well, I don't know, but if they start, just say if we hit a bottom, we start coming up, and or they start throwing out some Spider-Man. I mean, you don't realize it ain't just about Amazing Fantasy 15. There's other Amazing Fantasies. There's also other Amazing Spider-Man. Numbers. There's also Fantastic Four first appearance items of heavy hitters that haven't been released yet. There's a lot of comics that haven't, big grails that haven't been announced yet. If they do any of that while we're in the, still 001, whatever, the burn is the burn, but it's deflationary. It's going to act opposite. The coin's going to have to go. It's going to go up. I mean, regardless. I mean, what happens if we exhaust the whole entire reserve? Let's just say 2 years. I don't care. 3 years, whatever.
At that point, I mean, it wouldn't, but they would have stuff in there that says, hey, instead of burning from the circulating supply, it would just go back into the reserve wallet. That's most likely what they would do. Yeah. Which is fine. As long as it gets out of the circulating supply, I don't care if it goes to the vault, reserve, or if it's burned. That's
what I'm saying. Or like even with like anything with like Veveverse, like what happens then? That's what I'm saying. Cheaper. That's what I mean. It's like it's a weird coin because like when you start thinking about it, you're like, you think about price model, but then you think about the burning and you think about the way that it's set up. If we could go 2 years and if it stays cheap, it can't stay cheap. It's an impossibility. As long as they have a retail market tied to it, there's nothing. It has to. I mean, unless get to a point where people just stop buying items. if they just stop buying it. I mean, think about that for one minute. You really like no one bought. Like you have a drop and just not one item.
Never going to happen.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's going to be,
especially if it's growing. It's growing and growing. You know what happens after one Comic-Con when you have veve in with Marvel and everybody's there for Marvel and they're like, wait a minute, veve.
There's going to be so many
they start downloading the app and they're like, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute, comics. Wait a minute, what?
Yeah, I'm going to be on my feet. Like honestly, like I'm going and it's going to be fun, but it's going to be like a lot of work. Like every single. Thankfully, there'll be other people there that could be like, hey, you know, this is how you download it. This is how you do everything.
Hey, do you remember? You remember Casino, the movie? Casino. I'm sorry. Yeah, Casino. With, Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
He plays like he was connected with Joe Pesci, and they remember he was remember that.
Yeah.
You remember at the end when he kind of because he lost his casino license as a manager owner. Remember? You remember when he was because he was like a handicapper or a sport handicapper at the end. He had those big glasses. Go to Comic-Con with your veve shirt with those big bookie monster glasses
with the bifocal.
Yeah, they're like trifocal. They're the big eyeballs, like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You got to do that, bro. I want to see an outfit like that.
That'd be great.
Yeah, first appearance, Silver Surfer. You see that? You see that? By Marvelous Packs.
Yeah. I just added up.
X-Men. That's what I'm saying. Like you still got FF 148, FF 149, X-Men 1. Yeah, Jim 83 is the first appearance Thor. I mean, it's just insane, bro. There's such it's there's so many other books that are and like you were talking about with some of the newer ones with respect to like the
MCU.
Yeah, and the transgender stuff that's like long term. People might want to stack that if they come into one of them with like a 10K edition, just because.
Yeah.
And and then you got people stacking. That's going to pop those values.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on Avengers either. Avengers 8, Avengers.
Kang will be at least in Ant-Man 3, but he'll probably he's going to probably be in Loki season 2, Ant-Man 3, Quantumania. Probably going to be in the next at least one, if not two, Avengers movies before they get into.
I can't believe when he pops up, bro. The crowd in the movie theater is going to be. It's going to be bananas, bro. People are throwing popcorn at each other and shit.
I'm so curious to see what happens, how they get. I mean, he's probably going to be gone before Secret Wars, because Secret Wars, a lot of that's going to be Doom, and then Thanos is going to be there for a little bit as well. But dude, I can't wait. Like things are about. If you haven't read things are about to get absolutely crazy with the Marvel Cinematic Universe over the next several years, because the multiverse, like they have the Thor core. They're introducing it now with Jane Foster, who plays a really big part in Secret Wars. But be prepared to see like 50 Thors on screen at once. Be prepared to see like 100 Hulks. It's going to be absolutely bananas.
Well, you see what Andrew Garfield just signed, that crazy contract for. You know what I'm saying? You see that $50 million contract? You just got. That's huge, bro.
Yeah. So based on Kang's presence that will be felt in the Avengers movies, what do you think that price goes to in the next
50K floor?
Damn, it's a lot. It's a lot. But yeah, that's good.
It's not going to be affordable, bro. There's 250 of them. There's absolutely no way.
That's a good
point. You're not even going to get 50 because it's probably only going to get like maybe 200. Yeah. So you're looking, million dollar market cap. That's not out of the question.
No. So we'll see a lot of crazy stuff, and we'll see a lot of and again, we haven't started marketing yet. There's going to be so many things. That'll be it for today, unless there's anything else you guys want to go over before we talk off camera a bit.
I'm good. Thank you for having me on, man.
Oh, all right. Cool beans. This is a good one. Thanks so much. Everyone say bye to Dashy. Dashy hasn't been here. I've had to be next to the charger for this because I had a bunch of stuff before.
Randy, thank you very much. Appreciate it, brother.